to the Big Blue Crew Sports Network.
Time. And you know me and my bros on the same time. No breaks, green light. No breaks, I got the green light. When you hit ons, know it's game time. And you know me and my bros on the same time. No breaks, green light. No breaks, I got the green. We gon' tear it down, tear it down, tear it down, yeah. We ain't going out, we ain't going into town, no. Money ain't the mission, no, we coming for the crown, yeah, we coming for the crown. If we going out, then we going out loud, eh. Putting on the show, yeah, man, take a bow, eh. Even under pressure, they ain't never had doubt. But if we gon' do it, gotta do it right now.
Welcome to Giants Conversations, man. What's good, Snarf? What's good, man? Good morning, man. How you doing, man, brother?
I've had a pretty rough week. I've been fighting a cold ever since I got back from Winston-Salem.
Yeah, I was a little under the weather myself, but trying to bounce back, man. This Sunday morning as we get ready for New York Giants versus the Saints, and boy, this is going to be a not really in-depth preview of the game, as more so we get into what's going to happen probably after the game or maybe a little bit later on in the season. So that being said, man, welcome to the show. Welcome everybody to the show. I hope y'all are having a good morning so far. As you tune in today for Giants Conversation, we're getting ready for the New York Giants versus the New Orleans Saints game. And I was looking on Twitter, and ain't many people out there in Giant Stadium right now. So I don't
blame them.
I don't know how this is going to look in the stadium wise for this Giants team, as the Giants, of course, dealing with various injuries. I think Malik Neighbors is planning on giving it a go, but he's banged up. Dexter Lawrence is on IR. Theo Johnson is on IR. Roches is, I think, out. Banks is out. Flott's hurt. Who else, Matt?
I don't know.
So many people. I don't even know who's playing. Tommy DeVito's hurt. I mean,
I forgot about him.
It ain't looking good out there for the Giants. It ain't looking good out there.
No, it's not. At this point, Daboll is just throwing whatever he can together just to try to, in a failed attempt at salvaging this season and his job. I mean, we all know he's on the chopping block, and especially when you consider they're getting a playoff contender next week in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not looking good, man. Illuminor, DJ Davison, Evan Neal, Jordan Riley, Okereke. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And you have to wonder, because, again, normally this time of season, when players are, the injuries are piling up, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that players don't want to play, but you kind of, your legs hurt a little bit more. Your arms hurt a little bit. Your back hurts a little bit more when you're going out there and the chances of you winning are slim to none. So these guys, they some of these athletes do want to protect their careers and not have to go out there and risk injury in a losing season, or get further injured, when the reward is not as high as the risk. So, you're seeing guys and it's something that, I think the Giants are thinking about with Malik Neighbors, but to be honest, Malik Neighbors is a rookie. He needs snaps. He needs to be out there if he's healthy. But my veterans like Dex and some of these other guys, I definitely want them to sit. You don't want to Okereke, Banks. You don't want to further have these guys injured and what amounts to a lost season.
I mean, let's face it. at this point, and I know we're beating a dead horse, Shea and Daboll have become a collective cancer that we know John Mara doesn't want to get rid of, but at this point, if the attendance is low enough, Steve Tisch is going to get off his ass wherever he is, strip power away from Mara, and then take the reins of this team with an iron fist.
Yeah. And the thing about it, Mets, is we don't know really what they're thinking, but what I do know is what this fan base vibe is and what the vibe of the team and the players that I'm watching on the field is. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't good. So whatever they got going on in the front office, and we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that in this show a little bit later on. But whatever they got going on in that front office, you know, that vibe should match what's going on out there on the field. Like, it should be some pissed off people in that front office, including John Mara and, as you mentioned, Steve Tisch, who are the owners of the team. Now,
more so with Tisch than Mara.
Well, again, they're co-owners, so they're going to share responsibility as far as you know, whatever have you. You know, it's going to be a shared responsibility situation. So, anyway, now getting into this game, it's let's see, key matchups. Not again, the key matchup really is going to be the Saints offense versus the Giants defense, because the Giants have so many missing pieces on defense. Now, I do think Kayvon Thibodeau and Burns are going to be out there, but that's about it. That's about it as far as I know. That's about it. I don't see anybody else playing, as we mentioned. You know, some of the key players already out. So, and looking at the Saints, you know, you got Taysom Hill. I don't know if Taysom Hill is playing, but Derek Carr is going to be out there. Alvin Kamara. They got see the receivers they got out there. But this Saints team is very, very solid on the offensive end. And again, man, you know, we always talk about running where? To the outside. And the Saints love to run to the outside. And when you have your big run defensive stuffers not out there, particularly Dexter Lawrence and some of his backups, this could get real nasty for the New York Giants if they don't slow down the Saints attack. Now, Saints overall 12th on offense, 10th in rushing, 19th in passing, 14th in scoring. Giants defense 19th overall, 29th against the run, and surprisingly 6th against the pass. I believe because teams mostly run on them, so nobody's throwing on them, and they were getting some sacks and doing pretty good earlier in the season. So that is the matchup right there. Can the Giants slow this team down at all? I mean, at all, you know what I'm saying? And if they can't, it's going to be another blowout. And if it's another blowout, again, we're going to get into some of these rumors and stuff like that. But if the Giants go out here and get smoked again at home, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Now, before you go, let's welcome my brother Big Pat Sports Talk in the building. What's good,
Salute,
Pat?
What's going on, man? Shoot, I've been missing action. I ain't been feeling good.
I know. Ain't none of us see how that works. Like every Mets was just saying he wasn't feeling good. I was feeling a little bit weird. You know,
again, it is flu season.
Earlier on this week. Yeah, man. I recommend tea and honey. You know what I'm saying? that's our natural way of healing, you know, and people got away from that and they want to take all these pills and shit, and this makes you more sick. So that's my rant on that.
Or I'd recommend chicken and Chinese cabbage stew.
Okay.
Yeah, what the hell, man?
I don't know what that is, but
yeah.
Cave, what's good, man? Appreciate you tapping in, Brody. But yeah, matchups in this game, like I said, it ain't many to look for, but the one you gotta watch for is that Saints running game versus the Giants run defense, which to me is the biggest mismatch in this game. It's not like the Saints are a dominant team, but everybody's been running on everybody's been running on the Giants, and the Saints have been running on everybody. You know, and I called a couple of these Saints games earlier in the season, and again, you know our shit. Where do they like to run?
To the outside. Guess where they're gonna run it at? Both inside and out.
Outside, yeah. Double whammy. Inside out, outside in.
Right.
But yeah, how you see this one playing out, man? Pat, we'll start with you, then I'll go to Mets, because I don't see many things in this game, or many reasons, I should say, where I see the Giants can get a dub here. I don't see very many reasons. You know, maybe Tyrone Tracy can have a all-time rookie game. I mean, that could happen, but outside of that, I don't see a path to victory here, man. But
I see a total beatdown today. I'll be honest with you. I see a total beatdown today. I think they run the ball very well today against us with no issues. And I just don't see this offense doing anything either.
Yeah, me either. It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough, man, for the New York Giants to go in there, and they're at home, and you would think, you know, everybody wants to believe that this team can win at least one home game, but I don't know. I don't know.
I think we lose out, to be honest with you.
Oh man, see, this is getting bad, man. This is getting bad. Let me show y'all this, because this is what we dealing with here, man. This is. Oh my God! Can y'all see this?
Yeah.
Mr. Mara, enough. Please fix this dumpster fire. They're flying this shit over the stadium, bro.
They should
be. And the stadium's fucking empty. The stadium is absolutely empty today. I mean, this is sad, y'all. This is sad, man. Look, empty stadium, man. Where is that? Where's that picture at? LPG posted this picture of an empty parking lot, man. Empty parking lot, bro. Empty parking lot. This joint be packed. We was just out there, Pat. This shit was full.
Playing the Commanders, it was full.
Yeah.
That just lets you know that changes are coming. And
you're tired
that's
of
the thing with John Merritt that could get you fired.
I mean, it was,
to be honest with you.
I mean, down here in Carolina, we're having the same issue. I mean, granted, this year it's a step up because they've actually won 3 games instead of 2. But you guys remember that Carolina-Atlanta game last year where it was a deluge and hardly anybody showed up, right?
Yeah, but this is the New York Giants.
Yeah, New York.
This is the New York fucking football Giants, one of the premier franchises in the NFL in sports. You know what I mean? And you got an empty stadium. You got people flying banners talking about fire these guys, fix this shit. You know, the Giants go out here and lay an egg today.
Enough is enough.
I don't know.
Nobody's coming to any December games, and that's what gets coaches fired in John Merritt's book.
Yeah, you're losing bread. You're losing bread. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of bread.
And to be honest with you, I applaud this. You know what I'm saying? Because this is change that is necessary. You know, we all want continuity. I've been preaching this shit forever. You know what I'm saying? But we can't just have it just to have it. You know what I'm saying? You don't stay with the loser girlfriend just to stay with her. You know what I'm saying? Because she got some good ussy. You know what I'm saying? You got to get rid of that. You know what I'm saying? You got to get rid of that because it ain't healthy for you. It's no good. It's gonna pull you further and further into a hole, so to speak. You know what I mean? But Wes, welcome, Cave. Man, Cave, what's good, man? Appreciate you tapping in, brother.
What's good? What's good? I guess everybody been under the weather this whole week, man.
Yes, it's a Big Blue Crew flu going on.
Thanks.
I'm over it now.
Oh man, but yeah. Oh, the Steelers got George Pickens inactive. See, Tomlin don't play that shit, man. Oh, he got a hamstring. Never mind.
Got a hammy.
Got a hammy. But he been fucking up on the field. So I
blame
thought Tomlin might have just been like, you're gonna sit you down today, son. But nah, he's hurt. But man, check it out, Cave. I don't know if you've seen it, but I just showed where they was flying fix this shit over the banner, LPG, posting pics of an empty stadium, other guys out there with nobody in the stadium, nobody in the parking lot. We was just out there in the parking lot. It was full when we went to the Commanders game just a month ago, and now ain't nobody out there. This tells you that people are tired of it. They're not going to support this mess, and I don't blame them. But just speaking of this game, I went through the one matchup that I think is pretty much going to dictate this game, and that's the Saints running game versus the Giants run defense. What do you have any matchups or any key things you're looking for in this game? I kind of went through the injuries, so to speak. Let me see if I can pull up an inactive list while you talk about that.
I mean, there ain't no matchups to look at. We don't have nothing.
Right.
There's no matchups to look at, bro.
I know this is a tough preview, bro. I get it, fellas, but we promised the fans this shit. So,
and then at the end of the day, you got Brian Daboll against an interim coach. So what? He's gonna be out coached by that guy too.
Yeah, let him get his ass kicked by who is the Saints coach? They fired Dennis Allen.
Yeah, who is it?
Who is it? Mets.
Hold on, let me look.
The Saints coach.
Yeah, and as far as
he's an intern coach, I think.
It's an intern.
Right, he's gonna get out coached by the interim coach.
Darren Rizzi.
Yeah, who was that? Exactly. No disrespect to him, but come on.
He's not like from the video room. He's like the video.
Yeah, from the video.
Yeah, video coordinator.
Yeah. As far as the fans, man,
I ain't gonna hate on that job though. I wish I could get that job in the NFL.
Yeah.
Be a video
Hell
coordinator.
yeah, bro.
That'd be dope.
That's a bump in pay, right? That's a big bump in pay.
Finish 54-year-old. There's no working connection to the Giants.
Yep, got Drew Lock going out there today.
No Malik Neighbors.
I don't know if Neighbors is playing. No,
I'm saying, but is he hurt?
Injury.
Injury.
But he's been playing with injury throughout the games. You can see it in the games and stuff like that.
When he says he's gonna try to play, I don't see any inactives list yet. So when I get that for you guys, I'll drop it. But I don't see anything yet. I'm looking on Giants Twitter.
Okay.
So,
groin injury.
Oh, there it is. I got it now. So inactives, you got Banks, Phillips, Okereke, Chris Hubbard, Luminor, Nacho, and this D. Williams guy he just picked up. For the Saints, you got Jordan Mims, Jalen Ford, Mason Tipton, Christian Boyd, and Spencer Rattler is your emergency third QB for the Saints. It's gonna be a beatdown, bro.
Okay. Rizzi's professional football career. He was
we don't need his professional, with all due respect. I just wanted his name because he doesn't matter in this situation. Mets, you know what I'm saying? So we don't need if this was like a real matchup, I'd say give me a little background, but this ain't it, bro. This is a one-on bum. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Well, Iman, what you
That's a
say?
fact.
Iman said them ninjas ain't hurt. They just don't want to play.
Yeah, some of them ain't. That's what I was trying to
I told
explain
you.
earlier. Yeah, them arms hurt a little more. Them legs hurt a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Them knees hurt a little bit more in a season like this.
No, what they going out there for? You? They ain't got nothing to play for now. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Once Daniel Jones got released, and you just tell
Salute to the fam. I see you, Ghost. I see you, Iman.
you waving the
Appreciate
white
y'all
flag.
tapping in.
Yeah, you waved the white flag on the season already, man, like 3 games ago.
Mhm.
So it really doesn't matter. But as far as the stadium and all that stuff, man, I mean, them seats are already paid for and stuff like that. The only thing is just if they have like protests outside the stadium and like the airplane flying, that'll embarrass them more. But as far as the seats, them things are paid for. And owners, I mean, yeah, you see people in the stands and stuff, but by the second quarter, they start walking out, you know, in mass exodus. That's like, you know, that's a big, what you call it, when you see that.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Ain't nobody right now. The Saints are giving up 5.5. Yeah, I might get on that bet, to be honest with you.
I already
You know what I'm saying?
That's a
5.5, just 5.5, bro. This might be a 14 point, 21 point beat down. You know what I mean? Because eventually, at some point in the third quarter, the Giants are gonna give up. This is what they do. At some point in the third quarter, the Giants are gonna give up.
First quarter.
That's you know they always put one good drive together in the first quarter.
Let me
That's
say something.
what they do.
When you down,
and then after that, wheels fall off.
when you down 23-0 and you only got 5 passing attempts in the first half, that means you already gave up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay, they missed a snap last year. Now he can't go. I mean, like I said, man, this team is melded in. They know what's going on. You know, they know what's going on. The Giants are trying to get this first overall pick. They are in the race. I'll put it out there. Who are they tanking for? That's kind of what I'm trying to figure out. You know,
I think we talking about what strategies we're going to use during the draft because that's the main important thing. They might as well start talking about strategies now. See what they're going to do.
They need to see who's going to be picking these players.
No. I'm talking about
as
far as what's going to happen with the picks and stuff like that. As far as like if a player want to be here, he don't want to be here. Can they trade it? And you know what I'm saying? How much they going to get for it? You know,
you need to see who's picking these players again, bro.
Right.
Well, are we making trades with Joe Shane? We're gonna let Joe Shane make these trades again?
No.
Not saying he's done a bad job, particularly with the trades, but again, we're talking about drafting a future quarterback.
But the thing with Joe Shane is picking the players that the coach wants. That's the whole thing. So if another coach come in and he's gonna pick the players that coach wants. See, Daboll ask him for these players, and then he gets the players that don't know how to use them. That's what the problem is. It's not Shane looking. Shane is just like, tell me what you want. Give me the grocery list. I go get it, and he go get it. And then this guy comes back and he
lets him spoil.
He makes hamburger out of 5-course meal and go sit down.
Oh man,
I can't use this guy. Like you can't use him. Like we spend we traded assets to go get this guy in the draft, and now you can't use him.
Yeah, that's crazy. How do you trade up for Hyatt and then you can't use him?
And
you don't even try to use him, as a matter of fact.
And
I can see if he was putting them on the field and he wasn't doing it. You're not even putting them on the field. Like, damn, if you tanking the season, go ahead and see what you got.
You would think. You would really think so, but again, they haven't been doing that, you know, and again, that's the thing, that's a knock on Brian Daboll. You know what I'm saying? But people want to say that these players aren't good, that the players that they pick just aren't good. You know what I'm saying? And it befuddles me because you have a team here, like you said, Cave, where you have a coach that's supposed to be building a system and supposed to be putting players in this system to make the system work. You know, and especially on the offensive end. See, people were talking about all these bad players on offense. They picked these players and they're supposed to build this offense up from the Joe Judge era. I keep saying that shit because anybody that's trying to cape for Daboll's job, and it's a lot of these people out here, don't let them get twisted. Anybody you hear saying, "Ooh, Joe Shane is so bad," Joe Shane, they're telling you that Shane is the problem, and they still believe in Daboll, and they want Daboll to draft Cam Ward and see if they can see these fans are stupid. When they say the Giants fan base is dumb, it's true. It's true. Y'all sound so fucking ridiculous, bro. You don't really know what you want. You don't. You wanted this tough, hard-nosed coach. It gives you that. Nah, he's too tough. Then you want the offensive guru who can make lunch meat out of whatever, chicken salad, something like that, and then they give you him, and he's not good enough. And you don't want the old guy. You know what I'm saying? You don't want the retread. What do y'all want?
Right. They want the offensive hotshot coach to come in here and put up 30 points. That's what they want. And it's not going to be easy like that in the NFC East unless you build a team that can play in the NFC East.
Right.
You know, another reason why they call this fan base dumb is because they don't look at the development of the players. They think you're supposed to just draft a player and he's just supposed to just be this amazing player when he comes in.
2 years, though, Pat.
The GM don't develop players. It's the coaching that develops players. Why do you think all these players leave and be good? You see what I'm saying? So that means they're not drafting bad players. There's bad development in the building. There's no development.
Because we have a lazy fox in the hen house.
It's crazy.
You look at Hyatt. They keep talking about Hyatt can't get off the line. He can't do this. I bet you if you go to Kansas City, he could get off the line.
I bet you if you go to Miami, get off the line. You scheme to get off the line.
Right. Look at Turpin. Turpin is small as I don't know what. He gets off there, gets passes and stuff like that. Xavier Worthy in Kansas City gets passes. He's small.
Yeah, you think they just line up Xavier Worthy on the outside and tell him to go run routes? No, they put him in motion. They put him in jet sweeps. They put him in bunch formations to where you can't be touched. It's called scheme.
And unfortunately, Brian Daboll does not have a scheme.
Yeah, man.
It's very stagnant and rigid.
Now, here's the deal, right? Last week we talked about some of the GM candidates. And this week I want to get into some head coaching rumors, some head coaching possible candidates. And I'm going to start here with the panel in the chat, just so I'm clear on this. Does anybody think that the Giants should be running it back with Brian Daboll?
No.
This is just a yes/no answer.
Hell no.
Me personally, no.
F no.
Okay. So now that we understand that he did. Go says Daboll's a fraud. He's on board. I believe Iman is too. Salute to y'all. Stephen Bloom, salute to you. Said I'm good either way. Just no Bill B. Cool. So now that we established that he needs to go, let's see what are the possibilities. Now, we have to be fair and start in-house. Does anybody feel Mike Kafka or Shane Bowen, the coordinators, are decent candidates for this position?
Only reason why I say no is because I know Bowen. I don't think he's a great leader of men. I think if you could give him the opportunity to coach a defense and your offense at least is half decent, he's a good defensive coordinator. I wouldn't mind if he stayed because I do like the way that he gets after the quarterback. Mike Kafka, no, because he's already been fractured by this franchise and Brian Daboll. I don't think he has any interest with the New York Giants anymore. And that's a fact. And I don't blame him. But if he had interest, based off what he did with Daniel Jones in 2022, because I know that was his play calling, I would give him a shot because he looks like he knows how to adjust to the talent that he has on the field, unlike Brian Daboll. I think Brian Daboll calls a simple offense, and he just depends on players making plays. That's why he needs a roster full of superstars, or he needs a superstar receiver with a otherworldly quarterback to be successful, and a running back. He needs players. I've been saying this for the past year and a half. He needs players that play above the X's and O's all the time. But no, there's no in-house coach candidate. I'm sorry.
What do you think, Cave?
Yeah, I feel the same way too, man. I think they should just go totally blow it up and go get people from outside, man, from winning organizations. It could be Kansas City, it could be somewhere else, something like that. I don't think Bowen or Kafka should get the job. Now, if Kafka want to come back as an offensive coordinator, I mean, that's something you might have to look at. But as a coach, I don't know about that, man. I'm not sold on that.
What about you, Mets?
Honestly, I would say no. But honestly, if Kafka were interested, mostly to just tell Brian Daboll, F you, I was the mastermind behind the 22, and basically flip off the media and say, I was the mastermind behind the success of this team in 2022, not that bald piece sack of shit. I'd say go for it. Go for it with Kafka. I mean, I may be on the minority here, but while I will agree that what Kafka did to him last year basically broke what Daboll did to him last year broke any and all confidence or desire. If Daboll goes, I say roll the dice with Kafka.
Okay. Little unpopular opinion there. Okay. I agree with Pat. I would not go the Mike Kafka route. I think you kind of, the way you did this man, I don't think you in good faith can really give him the job after you stopped him pretty much from getting a job that he wanted. You know what I mean? So you kind of kept him captive. I think he wants out. And I think, to be honest with you, if I'm getting rid of Brian Daboll, I'm firing Shane Bowen along with him, because I don't like off and soft defensive schemes. It shit remind me of what's that cat we had? Patrick Graham. That's exactly what his defense remind me of. Patrick Graham defense. You know what I'm saying? He just has better talent on the line than Patrick Graham had, with Thibodeau, Burns, and Dex. So I don't really like his scheme. I don't think he banks and some of these guys are gonna flourish in this type of scheme. I don't think the scheme fits the NFC East. I think we match up better in the NFC East with an aggressive defensive scheme. So I want these guys. I want the whole staff kind of cleared out. If you're going to get rid of Daboll, just sweep everybody out of here. Only one I would keep, I'm a big Jerome Henderson and Andre Patterson fan, but those guys, they're probably tired of this shit too, especially Endo. He's been here for a while.
Yeah, you bring in a new head coach, I think they give a clean sweep for everybody, and I'm not against it because you need new blood in the building, man. All these coaches keep coming in and bringing in the same position coaches and everything, so most of the positions are not being coached up the way they're supposed to be coached up. I think they're good coaches. I just think it just needs to be a cleanse in the building from head to toe. To be honest with you, no more leftovers. Just cleanse head to toe.
But sometimes a good coach, because he could see in the news, he could come in and see like, I could keep some of these guys from the staff because they are good. A good coach will do that. He won't just clean house if he could work with those guys and things like that.
It's
not all the time, but sometimes it happens where you be like, there we got some good personnel.
I just think it's a vibe in a building. You could be a very good head coach in this building and it still not work because of the vibe. You just need a clean slate from GM all the way down. Just get new position coaches. We definitely need new receiver coaches. We just need teachers in here, man. And I'm not saying these guys are not teachers, but you just need to just clean house, man. Just do a total cleanse. Only position that don't need to be cleansed is like front office positions and some of the scout people, because they bring in their own scout people anyway. So from Mara on down, from under Mara on down, it might just need to be a cleanse. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what? Like I was saying, like you look at some of the coaches we let go, they on like Bobby Johnson, they on other staff, and they doing good because of the team.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's the vibe in the building, bro.
Right. That's because of the head coach, the coordinators and stuff, the GM and stuff like that. So if you change those guys out, you know what I'm saying? Hey, sometimes good people could be good, man.
Yeah, man. Dan Duggan says a plane flying over. It says the last time they did that, it was 1978, which prompted an organizational overhaul.
I'm telling
you. That's deep, man. Because remember that because I watched a lot of Giants history stuff. That was the year that that they had the bags and shit over their head, and that and that they bought in what's the George Young. They made the Maras and them step back and brought George Young in because it got that bad. And that's what Dan Duggan is saying now. It's to that point to where they're gonna have to we need to fix this shit. Like,
I'm telling you. Hey, remember what we talked about NYG? I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
And we're gonna get there, man. I do have a video, so I'm not gonna spoil my video. I'm gonna put the video out here. I got really busy, but I'm gonna talk about my thought process about the head coaching situation. But let's get into some of the possible candidates. Now we're gonna start with the obvious, Bill Belichick. Now Bill Belichick is actually interviewing for Carolina, my boys, to go down there and fix it. And I like it. I like it for Carolina. I hate it for the New York Giants, but I love it for Carolina. And the reason I like Bill Belichick as a college coach is because I think that kind of mindset works better in college when you have younger, impressionable kids, that are gonna listen. This is a football coach. Oh my God, this is Bill Belichick. He coached Tom Brady. That message works. It's kind of like the TP Miz debate. You know what I'm saying? That message works in college. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't necessarily work in the NFL. I think it's a little bit harder in the NFL when you got these veterans, grown men, so to speak. They got kids at home, girlfriend, a mistress, wife on the side. They got shit going on. So these guys are like, man, I ain't trying to listen to Bill Belichick, man. Get out of here. I'm trying to go get my bread. In college is different. You know what I'm saying? So to me, Bill Belichick has ran his course when it comes to anything dealing with the New York Giants. I don't want his recommendations. I don't want him. I don't want his followers. I don't want his sons. I don't want his former players, quarterbacks, none of that shit. Cut that New England tree down and get it up out of the Giant Stadium. Because it's done. It's over. It's ran its course. None of these guys are going to come in here and bring the Giants back to the 1980s New York Giants. It's not going to happen.
True.
That's my thing on Belichick. Hold up for a minute, Snarf. You get eager to talk sometime. I don't. The reason I do Giants conversations is because it gives me the platform to talk. You know what I'm saying? So, again, let me lead the show. Now, Belichick. How do you feel about Belichick? Let me go to Cave, then I'll go to you, and then I'm going to go to Pat.
Man, I'm with you on Belichick, man. Like I said, towards the end when Tom Brady was there, that ship was sinking. Like I said, he started going downhill. He wasn't drafting great, and he was in control of that team. People want to say, like, no, he was the GM of that team. Towards the end when the ship started sinking, everything started going downhill. After Brady left, everybody know that was it. And like I said, I look at Belichick because of his age. Same thing, like I'm a Duke fan, so I know Coach K. Nick Saban, all these guys are stepping away from the game in their 70s, and he's already in his 70s. He's going to step away because Father Time catches up with you real quick, man.
Everybody, yeah.
You can't go through this, hire Belichick, and then a year, 2 years later, it's like you got to hire another GM and a coach. He's going to go through the process again. So that's the only thing with him is his age. If he was in his 50s or 60s, I'm cool with that. But when you're in your 70s, yeah, that's almost like your retirement age. You're ready to go, sip on some Mai Tais or something on the beach. You know what I'm saying? And just analyze. So now Belichick coming here. Don't get me wrong, he's a great coach. He's a Hall of Fame coach, legend coach. But I think, like I said, it's just too late in the process right now. If it was like 4 years ago, yeah. But now, nah, it's like I said, we need some new young blood in here, man, or somebody with a vision.
Absolutely. So go ahead, give me your thoughts, Mets, on Bill Belichick, and then we're gonna go to Big Pat.
No, hell no! For all the reasons Man Cave pointed out, you can't fight Father Time. He basically ran New England into the ground after Brady flew the coop. I do not want to see that happen with a guy who should have hung it up years ago. Heck, in my view, he should have hung it up after Brady opted to leave, not as soon as Brady left, not like 3 or 4 years after he left.
Mm-hmm. Pat, what's your thoughts on Bill Belichick? Iman says he doesn't mind it. I know a lot of people don't mind Bill Belichick. Our brother Miz has been one of the biggest supporters for that move. But Pat, what's your thoughts on the Belichick thing?
Man, this one's like a damned if you do, damned if you don't type situation. I do appreciate the leadership of Bill Belichick because he is a leader of men, however you want to look at him, as an asshole or however you want to look at him, he's a leader of men. It's just that, can he reach this team, or will it be another, nepotism hire type situation? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think this organization needs that. I think this organization needs a cleanse. So that's part of the reason why I'll be against it. And to be honest with you, I think he's going to the college ranks because the college ranks is the only teams that will give him carte blanche on whatever he wants to do. And that's why he's going to college teams, because I don't think any NFL team wants to give him head coach and GM duties, because his drafting has not been great. And that's I'm only saying it like that because he's a Hall of Fame head coach. I'm gonna give him respect, but his drafts have never been that great, bro.
Mm-hmm.
No.
But his philosophies have been absolutely off the chain. But has those philosophies, worn off on the NFL league? You know what I'm saying? Every great, it happens to every great. You know what I'm saying? It happened to Jimmy Johnson. It's happened. Only one that's been like that for so long is Andy Reid, as far as reaching different generations of players. You know what I'm saying? And that's not saying Andy Reid's a better head coach than Bill Belichick, even though I think Andy Reid is not as far off as people think. But Andy Reid's philosophy, it goes to generation to generation because it just adapts to the players. And no matter how young you are, you can adapt to Andy Reid's philosophy. It lets you be you. Bill Belichick, you're not going to be you. You're going to be what Bill Belichick tells you to be. And that might not reach these guys, like TP was saying, the way that everybody think it will reach them. You don't have Eddie Johnsons on this team, or Vrabels on this team, or Seymour's on this team like that, that's willing to sacrifice everything for the team. I like Malik Neighbors to death, but I don't think he's that type of player. You know what I'm saying? The sacrifice like a Troy Brown would, or Deion Branch would. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to say no. But if they do hire him, I know exactly why they hired him. Right. And maybe he does bring a change. Who knows? But I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Definitely. I think it's ran its course. Ghost says, I know if he was here, we definitely getting Sanders. Says Brady was his success. As they say, Sanders can do that for him, and he worry about everything else. I'm gonna get into the Sanders in a minute. But let's go to one of my top candidates, and that's Mr. Mike Vrabel. Now, Mike Vrabel, of course, the ex-Tennessee Titans head coach. Mike Vrabel brings a tough attitude, sort of like a Belichick, but he's on the younger end, and I think he would build. I believe he would build the type of culture that a lot of the old school Giants fans are looking for. You know, the culture of running the football first, playing good defense, and getting after the quarterback. I think that's something that a Mike Vrabel would bring to this team if he was the head coach. So I do think I see Vrabel as a legit candidate. I think he should be at the top of the list over a guy like Bill Belichick. But want to welcome my brother Lou to the program. What's good with you, Lou? Appreciate you tapping in.
What's good?
Salute.
Getting ready to watch these Giants just disappoint the shit out of me this weekend. You know, it was reported that Mara said that this game would have a significant impact on Shane and Daboll's future. And then they decided to go bench Malik Neighbors with a mysterious hip injury all of a sudden. So
Neighbors is playing.
They said he was out, that he wasn't going to play.
He is? I thought he was out.
He's active. So
Yep.
I read he's playing. So.
And if they're gonna play him, he gets re-injured. Oh man, that's gonna be bad. I know what you're saying, but
Bro, I said I didn't want to watch the Thanksgiving game because I didn't want to see the injuries. And sure enough, Dexter Lawrence and Theo Johnson. You know what I'm saying? So now this man's hip is hurt. And you're going to put him back out there when we have no chance of winning anyway. We don't have a starting caliber quarterback. Okay? Our O-line been playing suspect. We got hurt players. What is
Yeah. But
I feel like Homer Simpson back in the day when Bart used to piss him off. He just dope.
Yeah.
Why are you little?
Are you little? Yeah. So there's your inactive list. So you guys can see that on the screen. But Lou, I want to
tiny.
Well, if you on your phone, it's gonna look like that.
No, I'm in my office. I'm not.
Oh, I can see it. Yeah, I can see it.
You gotta hit Control Plus.
You got 58-year-old eyes.
Old man eyes.
Drew Phillips is inactive. Drew Phillips.
Yes.
Oh,
Nice. I see
Drew
that.
and Banks
is inactive. Yeah. Drew Phillips, Deontay Banks, Bobby Okereke, Chris Hubbard, Jermaine Illuminor, Nacho, and D. Williams.
How Chris Hubbard?
Wait a minute. Deontay Banks and Drew Phillips is inactive?
Right.
Yo, what?
Yep.
Nacho.
Didn't Adoree Jackson get hurt?
Adoree Jackson is, you know how Adoree Jackson do. He ain't going out there playing right now. Not this time of year.
That was Nacho.
That's what I'm saying.
He been there melded in. But Jackson don't play them games. He ain't finna go out there and hurt myself. My back, coach.
Right.
But yeah, this is what we looking at. But back to the head coaching situation. Lou, we went through the in-house candidates. None of us want Shane Bowen or Kafka to be the coach. We obviously don't want Daboll back. And the panel, most of us feel like Belichick isn't the answer either. So now we're at Vrabel. So give us your thoughts on Mike Vrabel and if you think he should be a legit candidate for the coaching job.
He's definitely a legit candidate. He's definitely a legit candidate. While he hasn't won a Super Bowl as a head coach, he has demonstrated that he can put a team together and lead a group of men. And he has not abandoned the philosophy of the run game. He has not abandoned the philosophy of a sound defense. He has not abandoned the philosophy of discipline and accountability. And, you know, I think he's a guy that can relate to these younger players and the older players. And as a former player himself, he commands a level of respect because he's not just one of these guys who coached and never really played or couldn't make it as a player and became a coach. He's a player who was a respected and well-paid player in the league for a long time at a high level. So there's a certain level of respect that he commands because of that and because of his track record with the Titans and what he did over there. I have no problem with him being the candidate for head coach. I respect what he's done in this league. And I think given another opportunity, he can do more. What I will say about the Belichick thing, a lot of people don't want him because he's old and they feel like he can't relate to the players. but in some capacity, maybe as a consultant for Brandon Brown. If Brandon Brown gets promoted, it would be his first time as GM. So maybe you bring him in as a consultant to help navigate, with some of the cap and some of the things like that. But yeah, for the most part, I have no issue with Mike Vrabel. Hell of a guy.
Okay. I agree, man. I gave my spill on Vrabel. Let's go to Man Cave, then we'll go to Pat Metz.
Yeah, man, I agree with you. Mike Vrabel, I mean, he's a great coach. The only thing with him is I have to see who he's going to bring as his offensive coordinator, because I know he's going to keep Bowen as his defensive coordinator if he comes here. Because he already worked with him before. And with Vrabel, I mean, he had success in Tennessee, and I can't even remember who was his quarterback. Was it Tannehill or something like? So he really was
Mariota than Tannehill.
Yeah,
I mean, he really wasn't given a franchise quarterback though, because Mariota was a hype coming out of college. He was good, but then he got in the NFL. He wasn't doing that, great. So it's not like he really got the quarterback. I mean, he did pick a Mariota, so I guess
he won a playoff game with Mariota too.
Yeah.
Good point, because I don't remember hearing all the Tennessee fans saying, "Oh no, you got to let him pick his guy, let him draft another quarterback." Right. I didn't hear none of that shit. So I don't want to hear none of that shit for Daboll.
Right. But yeah, like I said, I won't have a problem with Vrabel, man. He reminds me of Dan Campbell. Like I said, he's tough-minded. I'm not for the Patriots and all these other teams that he played against. Mike Vrabel was always one of those like very reliable players and stuff like that. And I know, like you guys say, I know he could like be a leader of men with these guys and stuff like that, and be real tough with these guys, and not just pick and choose who he wants to reprimand and stuff like that on the sidelines and stuff like that. If you ain't playing good, you just not playing good, bro. You know what I'm saying? Pull them to the side, talk to them and things like that, and, run a tight ship. And I don't think that's what's going on over here. You know what I'm saying? Over here, guys are getting away with things. Some guys are, some guys not. You know what I'm saying? And things like that. You don't need that type of coach. You need a coach, like I said, that's going to get these guys in shape, get them disciplined. We need discipline on this team. A lot of undisciplined guys running around in this locker room. You know what I'm saying? Then you look at it, we done got rid of all the leaders of the team. Saquon's gone, Xavier's gone, Daniel Jones gone, Dexter's hurt. You know what I'm saying? These are leaders. And one by Andrew Thomas is hurt. One by one, you let them just go out the door. And then it's one thing if you got a coach who's a leader, that's different. But if you don't have a coach who's a leader, and then you get rid of the leaders on your team, the players, you really don't have a team, bro.
You don't.
So you got to find a coach that can lead, man, and stuff like that. Get some leaders back on this team. But yeah, I'm good with Vrabel, man. I'm good with that.
What's your thoughts, Pat?
I think Vrabel is a very good candidate, and I wouldn't mind. I think he brings you everything that Bill Belichick can bring as far as being a leader of men, but he's also young enough to, to relate to this young team. You know what I'm saying? That's why I want Vrabel as the head coach, because he can bring that demanding type, personality, but he's still young enough to relate to the players. Like he can treat neighbors like he did AJ Brown. AJ Brown's an outspoken receiver who's very talented and wants the ball. And so is Malik Neighbors. And he found a way to make AJ Brown one of the best receivers in the league before he went to Philadelphia. People act like he was nothing before he went to Philadelphia, which is crazy because that dude was balling at Tennessee. And I do believe he will bring a running game back to the New York Giants, and he still will be able to get Malik Neighbors and people of such the ball. And he did it with two mid quarterbacks. He won playoff games with both of them. He won a playoff game with Mariota, beat the Chiefs, and he won playoff. He got to, I think, 2 AFC championships with freaking Tannehill. So, like Lou said, nobody was saying, hey, look, you got to Vrabel needs a quarterback. Nobody was saying that to Vrabel. They were saying go out there and win games with the quarterback that you have. And so, and he did that. He had enough character and he had enough scheme and knowledge of the game enough to do that with 2 mediocre quarterbacks. He just had a very good running game with Mr. Derrick Henry. And I think he can bring that back with this team. This team is not a horrible team. They're just horribly coached. I truly believe that.
Facts. Woohoo! That was a bar.
Yeah, he knows how to build an offensive line too, Stephen Bloom. And like I said, with that new blood in the building, with this new blood in the building, I think he can get this offensive line to where it needs to be, and we can have a positive attitude with this Giants team moving forward. Will it be a Super Bowl as soon as he's here? No, because the vibe in the building is just too bad. That's why I think there's another cleanse coming. I think they're going to force
John colon cleansing for this shit.
Yeah,
colon cleansing.
Yeah, I think they're going to force the son what they forced the father to do. We're going to choose your next GM. We're going to choose the best candidate. You're going to shut up and sit back and collect the money and write the checks. I think that's what they're going to do to the young mayor, like they did it to the senior mayor. I truly believe that.
Yeah, we talked about it.
It's lining up again. It's lining up the same exact way it was in the 70s.
Shut up and collect the money.
Yeah, shit, that's what you need to do. Shut your
that's what
ass
you need
up.
to do, because he's not a football. You can look at John Mayer and tell he's not a football mind.
But that's rough. The way you just shut up and collect the money.
That's what you do.
The reason why I say that, Lou, is because New York is the second biggest market besides LA. And when you really look at sports, it is the biggest market. If you just put it on basically sports, they need New York to bring in money for the league. They do. If you're looking at it as a business standpoint.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so if you got New York with the whole stadium empty, that's bad for the NFL.
That's a horrible look for the company. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think they're going to do to him like they did the senior mayor. Shut up. You're not a football mind. You just had the money to get the franchise at the time. So collect your money, write these checks, and let us get New York back to prominence. That's what's going to happen. It has to happen. Because the vibe in the building is too bad. I don't care who you bring in here, bro. The vibe in the building is too bad. And then you're bringing people that are not qualified. So it makes it even worse. That's why you see the way it's looking right now. How you gonna bring in an egomaniac that don't know nothing? That's crazy.
Not a damn thing. Don't nobody know now nothing like he don't know now nothing.
Fucking
trash.
Why you think everybody succeeds when they leave the building? Because they're leaving that horrible energy that's in this building. I'm telling you.
Yes.
If you can, man, I wish we could go in that building. I promise you will feel it. I know what I see, bro.
Oh yeah,
you
can feel like weight on your shoulders.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
She felt that shit in the parking lot.
It's bad, bro.
We're here for another ass whooping. Jesus Christ.
Right. Yeah, it's bad. You know what I'm saying? This the parking lot. We was just there, Lou. That parking lot was full, bro. We was right there in that spot. That parking lot was full. Look how empty it is. Look at that shit.
By this time, because it's 12 something there. But what was the timestamp on that, NYG? It should show it at the top when the picture was taken. So 2 hours ago.
So about
at 10 o'clock.
That shit was supposed to be that shit was packed. People were supposed to be out there grilling. Yeah.
Yeah, ain't nobody out there. You can't say, "Oh, it's cold." No, brother.
Nah, that don't matter. We from New York. We used to the cold. The cold don't stop.
Yeah.
Fact. You know what I'm saying? But Mets, man, what's your thoughts on Vrabel real quick? And then we're gonna get into a couple other candidates, and then I want to queue up a little Giants trivia for you guys at the end.
And for me, Vrabel's kind of a yes and a no. It's kind of yes and no. On the one hand, yes, he can work with mid-tier quality players and do something with them like he did with the Titans, getting them to, I only thought it was just the 2020 AFC title matchup. Up. But regardless, he can work with these kinds of players and put them together in a way that fits their strengths and compensates for their weaknesses, something Daboll has proven he will never do. But on the other hand, he's another Bill Belichick learning tree. And I thought we needed to rip the root of that cancerous, parasitic tree out of this organization once and for all.
Hold on. He's not from the Belichick tree. He played under Belichick. He didn't coach under Bill Belichick. So don't get it twisted. I'm talking about Belichick's coaching tree. You can't knock the players that played under him. They just played.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. But I mean, he did pick up some of his coaching philosophy, did he not?
Yeah, let's hope it's the good part. Yeah, let's hope it's the good part. The part we need.
Well, I mean, he's the only one that left him and succeeded.
Facts. That's another point.
He's the only one that left and succeeded. That's a fact.
True. But let's get into another candidate.
Another one.
Ben Johnson from the Detroit Lions. I'm just gonna put these two candidates kind of in the same category, and that's Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, the OC and DC for Detroit, respectively. Now I'm gonna start with Ben Johnson. Love his scheme, love his play calling. Question whether he can be a good head coach or not. That's the thing about these coordinators. When you looking at some of these guys and you seeing with the play sheet and they getting busy with that play sheet, scheming they ass off. But when you got to worry about the other side of the other two sides of the football, you know what I'm saying? You can't have your head in that play sheet all day. So I do question when a coach has to switch from the play calling to managing the team, if they're able to do that and not lose what they were so good at in play calling. That's what happens. I think it happened to Daboll. Whatever he was good at in play calling, he lost because he had to focus on the team. And then he went back to play calling, and it ain't there. Your magic is gone. Whatever it was.
Gone.
So
gone.
I'm intrigued by Ben Johnson. He will be a little bit lower on my list. Aaron Glenn is an interesting one, though. Remember Aaron Glenn, ex-cornerback for the Jets? I remember watching him in the 90s play. This Detroit defense gets after it. I am in favor of a defensive-minded head coach. You know what I mean? But again, you got the same questions about Aaron Glenn that you would have with Ben Johnson because he would be a first-time going into be a first-time coach from being a defensive coordinator, just on the opposite side of the football. I think that works better with defensive coordinators for some reason. You're looking at guys like Todd Bowles, D'Amico Ryans, the cat in Arizona, Gannon. Some reason it works better with the defensive players than the offensive. You only get those rare cases like of a McVay or a McDaniels in Miami or Shanahan. But that being said, what are you guys' thoughts on Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn? Let's start with Pat first, and we'll go to Cave, Mats, and Lou.
Okay. Ben Johnson. I don't want another offensive guru type coach, but I have studied Ben Johnson's philosophy on offense. Now, it was said that Dan Campbell actually started that philosophy, which is amazing in itself because he was not even an offensive-minded coach, but he had the brain to develop this philosophy, and Ben Johnson took it to another level. Ben Johnson knows how to run the ball, and he knows how to scheme his best receiver open. The only question I have about Ben Johnson is he full all offense, and is he a leader of men? Now, his offense could be so good to where it makes him a leader of men because they believe in him so much. They believe in the offense so much, which is very true. But the thing is, when he comes here, he doesn't have Montgomery and Gibbs, even though I think Tyrone Tracy and Turbo Miller can be a very good combo, but they're not Montgomery and Gibbs, and he doesn't have that role great in offensive line. Now, with Ben Johnson, when you bring him over here, we have to have a GM who knows how to draft the players for his scheme.
I think with Ben Johnson, I think if a situation like that, remember we talked about Ray Agnew from the Lions? So maybe that's another combo type situation, which I know.
Oh, it's definitely a combo type situation.
But yeah, I think that's they could be looking at that too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, are we willing to give that
go that
type
route
of
again?
go that route again? You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of people are not with that, but I do believe that it could be a very, very, very good situation if it's done correctly.
What about you, Cave?
Yeah, Ben Johnson. I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm kind of intrigued by Ben Johnson because the way I feel with Ben Johnson is he already said though if he becomes a head coach, he's gonna want to play call. He's gonna so he's gonna have what Daboll is doing right now. And I probably would feel more confident with him doing that than Daboll doing that.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
He knows plays. He knows how to get the players to scheme up and things like that. And another thing I think of, if he comes here as a head coach, that means that Glenn is coming too. Aaron Glenn is going to come with him to be a defensive coordinator. I'm just saying
he's up for a head coaching candidate too. That's why I was saying. That's why I was saying it's going to be one or the other. That's why I was trying to tell y'all it's not going to be both of them.
Sometimes it happens, man. I mean,
I doubt it. I doubt he would do that to Dan Campbell.
Yeah, I doubt he would do a lateral move.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I doubt he would do that to Dan Campbell. You know what I'm saying? Go laterally. Like, yo, bro, if you want to leave, take a head coaching job.
Yeah, sometimes like that. But like I said, yeah. And another thing with Ben Johnson will be like, you know, he'll be coming to a situation where he gonna have the top pick of the draft, so he can get what he wanted to do.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So from the strip off the rip, he's gonna get to do what he wants to do, get his quarterback, get the guys in there who he wants in there to help build his team. So it's not like the Giants picking like 28th in the draft where they like capped out. He has a good salary cap, got a high draft pick, and you know, with his thinking and stuff like that, he could probably change the team around quicker than what Daboll's doing. So, and he already got some pieces in here. He already got Hyatt. He got, you know what I'm saying, neighbors, people like that. So he got things to work with already.
Yeah, I agree, man. Lou, what's your thoughts on Ben Johnson or Aaron Glenn?
Y'all already know, man. I like what they're doing over there. I'm not gonna hate. You know, I give them their props. They've turned that team around, but I'm just done with the first-time head coaches, man. We've had too many of them in here back to back almost. The only one that wasn't a first-time head coach was Shermer. Aside from that, we had McAdoo, was never a coach. We had Joe Judge and Brian Daboll, who was never a head coach. So I'm done with the first-time head coach experiment, man. I'm sorry. I like these guys, but let them get their first shot somewhere else. We need somebody here who can build a culture and establish some semblance of a fucking identity. Excuse my language. We have been trashed for so long that it's hard to watch the games anymore. Like this shit is painful, bro.
It is. What about you, Mets? Thoughts on the coordinators for the Lions?
I'm more of a middle ground with this one. On the one hand, I can see Lou's viewpoint that enough is enough with turning this team into guinea pigs for first-year coordinators. But on the other hand, as opposed where Daboll basically commandeering play calling has been a curse, maybe Ben Johnson commandeering play calling when he shows up may be a blessing in disguise, as he is much more adaptable when compared to someone like Daboll or even Judge when he was here. Or Garrett and Kitchens. But that said, I'm going to sit on the fence with this one.
Okay. All right. Now, before I get into the last candidate that I'm going to talk about, let's take a look at the chat real quick. Salute. Mosley, appreciate you tapping in. Chris, Big Blue Boss, I appreciate each and every one of y'all for tapping in and joining us today on the show. Now, there are other candidates to be talked about, but I'm just kind of giving the list of the top candidates that I'm hearing. Now, here's the unpopular one. Y'all hit that like button. Deion Sanders. Now, I got a special video coming out on this and why this works. But should the Giants get the #1 pick or possibly the Raiders, there's a chance that Deion Sanders would want to follow his son into the NFL and coach at the next level and leave Colorado.
You know, there's a clip of Sanders telling the Raiders, telling Antonio Pierce that they need to draft his kids.
There's also a clip of somebody saying that Sanders is the next quarterback of the New York Giants. I posted that clip.
Somebody saying chat. Somebody saying that, but there's a clip of Deion telling Antonio Pierce, like, "Yo, draft my kids." Like he don't want them go. He wants them to go there.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I know there's a lot of speculation on that, but
I don't know. I ain't been in none of them rooms. I
think what it is, and a lot of times you hear smoke screen shit. You know, let's put it out there. We want to go to the Raiders to go the other way. Antonio Pierce might not have a job, you know, if he wants to coach his son,
what the fuck
he can't. Got Zion's advertising.
Yo, that's what I was about to
say. Got him.
Right. Way to go, Zion.
What I'm saying about Deion Sanders is this, you know, amid the speculation for a minute. You talking about culture change? This is what we talking about. I'm showing you a picture of an empty stadium, you know, in the MetLife right now. You talking about
that's the message that needs to be sent.
I promise you that stadium won't be empty if Deion Sanders is the head coach.
It sure wouldn't.
You see what I'm saying? So
I feel you on that.
This is a message being sent.
Mara don't want the stadium empty. And Tish don't want the stadium empty. I get that. But I don't want to keep fucking losing, regardless of who comes as the coach.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying?
And that's
whether he gets his stadium filled and we keep losing, that's not a win for us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what I'm saying? They say you build it, it will come. You build it, they will come. Pause. You know that old shit they used to say, you know what I'm saying? So again,
I used to tell the bitches.
Stop it. But if you build a winning culture and a winning program, you don't have to worry about this. The seats will be filled up. You know what I'm saying? So again, here's the thing, you know, with Deion Sanders, before I pass the mic. The culture. That's one. Setting the culture, setting the trend, getting you some good pub in the media, in media relations. You know what I'm saying? Deion Sanders will build a brand, you know what I'm saying, in New York. He's going to bring his brand to New York. You know, you got these younger kids. This is a young team. You know, they follow that swag, those trends, that kind of moxie. You know what I'm saying? Especially a guy like Neighbors, Hyatt, some of these receivers you got on this team. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of energy and vibe of your team. It's a younger team that needs to be coached up, like Pat said. But who's coaching that team, you know, is important because you got to understand the leadership factor. Those kids are going to follow Deion Sanders. We having debates
absolutely. He can reach that generation because he's still in tune. He's got two young boys that he's had to stay in tune with to keep them on the right path. So I get that part, but my thing is, and I don't think he's a bad coach. I think he could come here and turn the program around. But is the media gonna allow it? You know, the type of shitstorm media that we have. No, it ain't that they can allow it or stop it or anything. I'm saying from the standpoint, are they gonna be giving him hell? Are they gonna be asking him stupid questions constantly?
Love, bro. I'm telling you, Deion is gonna get love from. You know how much love the Giants will get for hiring Deion Sanders? Now you have some of the old head guys be like, I don't know, it's Deion Sanders. He's about him. But other than that, they gonna get mad love for bringing Deion Sanders. You know, people don't understand the culture change that brings if you bring prime time.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You need this culture
now,
change.
That's something that you guys think Mara will do.
I think what we're talking about here is They're gonna force Mara to get the fuck out the way and let it happen.
If they force Mara to get out the way, this is the move that they're gonna do. I promise you.
I promise you that. You know what I'm saying? Me and Pat talked a long time about this over the phone. You know what I'm saying? Because I think this is what this team needs. You can bring Vrabel. I like Vrabel, Pauls, Ben Johnson, some of these other guys, but it ain't gonna be that big shift in culture that you need. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be kind of like, well, let's see. It's gonna be more questions. Oh, is he gonna be play calling? He ain't gonna have no question with Deion Sanders. He gonna come in, take charge immediately. It's done. You bring in Brandon Brown as the GM.
Yeah.
You draft Sador. You're gonna get the rest of all his other sons on the team somehow, some way, and they're going to get this Giants organization kickstarted. You're gonna have excitement in the stadium. You're gonna have excitement with the fans, and you're gonna have excitement in the locker room because this guy is a leader of men. We don't have those questions about who's going to be calling plays, who's going to be calling defense, who's going to be calling offense. Deion Sanders already got an offensive coordinator, Pat Shermer. You know what I'm saying? He got a DC down there in Colorado. I'm pretty sure those guys are going to follow him into the NFL. They have NFL
if he
experience.
brings Pat Shermer here as the offensive coordinator,
that's what's going to happen. Yeah.
I will be excited about that. I will be excited about that because I like Pat Shermer as the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I didn't think he got. Yeah, I don't think he got what it takes to be a head coach, but I think he is a damn good offensive coordinator. And who knows, maybe in a few years he will develop that head coaching mindset, but I think he's a phenomenal OC.
Yeah, this will give him the best chance to go out and be a head coach and get that get another head coaching opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Going from college and then you come into the NFL and you turn the Giants around, turn the Giants offense around in particular. Yeah, you're gonna get a shot.
I want to say this too about that move. I'm actually all in for that move because, you're not probably going to get Travis Hunter with Shedeur Sanders, but we already got Malik Neighbors. You see what I'm saying? We already got a Wan'Dale Robinson, even though I do believe he would draft that boy Jimmy Horn Jr., who is a dog of a player. I promise he would get Jimmy Horn.
Oh, yeah. That's the other receiver. Yup. Yeah, he nice.
And he would get his son probably in the late 5th, 6th round. He'll probably tell the league, don't draft my son Shedeur, and he'll probably bring him in as an undrafted free agent or like a 5th, 6th round. I'm not worried about that. Okay, nepotism is his son. You gotta accept it. That's his son. He's coming with him. But Shedeur Sanders will have the same offense. He will have another dog at receiver and Malik Neighbors, who is just as good as Travis Hunter. He's not as tall, but he's just as good as Travis Hunter, and he's stronger and can run the same routes, a better route tree than Travis Hunter. And it would be a seamless transition. Now, the only thing I'm worried about is the run game. You see what I'm saying? Like them in Colorado, when they did, put emphasis on the run game, they looked pretty good. But will he put the emphasis on the run game, and will they be able to build an offensive line for Shedeur Sanders for the NFL, because they still haven't done the things to get the offensive line as good as it needs to be to compete with the top teams in college football. But
that brings up a whole
Go ahead.
That
Luke.
brings up a whole nother question based off of that question, right? Because if his son is the QB and he's the head coach, you're probably going to do everything you can to try to make sure your son's stats end up in one of the all-time brackets somewhere. That's what you want for your child. So you're probably going to negate the run game.
I don't think. Let me say something real quick, Lou. I think these guys get a bad rep in the media. I think they just want to win. I mean, I watched Sedore's press conference. That kid just wants to win. I don't think he's the type of kid that, I gotta get mine. I gotta get these stats. I want to break these records. I think they just want to win.
I'm not talking about him. I'm saying, will his dad, if he's the head coach, shy away from running, trying to make sure that his son gets the passing stats and passing records?
They wasn't doing that in Colorado.
Let me evaluate what I was saying. I'm not saying that they don't run the ball because they just want to give Shedeur stats. I'm saying they couldn't do it.
I didn't say that they don't.
He's asking
but
if he comes along.
I know you, but I'm just, elaborating to the people that are watching. I'm not saying that he doesn't run the ball because he wants to get Shedeur his stats. No, I said they couldn't do it as much because they didn't have the offensive line to do it with those big guys. When you look at that Nebraska game, Lou, with those big old boys, the corn-fed boys in Nebraska, they couldn't do nothing with that defensive line. That's why they got beat down the way they did. But when they played lesser teams, and they didn't have a dominant D-line like Nebraska did, they ran the ball pretty well. And that's kind of like the situation that we have here in New York right now. Like, we got good offensive linemen when the offensive line was healthy when it came to the passing game, for sure. But when it comes to the running game, we didn't have the beef, to, move guys out the way to get the running game that how we would like the running game to be here in New York. You know what I'm saying? So would I think Pat Shermer could adjust to the NFC East? I truly believe, because he did it with Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
he did it with Daniel Jones as far as getting the quarterback to go. But we need a good GM to draft the players that will allow them to be bullies when they need to be bullies.
You know what I need?
Well, we know Pat Shermer will run the ball because he was head coach here with Saquon and he ran the ball. Yeah, I'm saying,
I think what we need though from the like the GM standpoint is I need Brandon Brown to get in his Philadelphia bag and go get some linemen, like some real linemen like they got over there in Philly. Because them dudes
I forgot about that. It won't be Shane if Deion is here. He will be Brandon Brown.
Brandon Brown is going to be the pick probably for the GM. Unless they got somebody else in mind, but I think they like Brown.
Brown has the best.
I think that would be the continuity that John Mara would be looking for. Like, okay, at least we'll keep this guy around. You know what I'm saying? And he knows your front office, and he can work with some of the people you already got in here.
Shane would be upset about that one. Boy, I don't give a damn, but he'll be upset about that. You gonna tell me my assistant GM's gonna take my job?
Yes, sir.
Shane looked like the leprechaun from the Lucky Charms commercial, and Daboll looked like the gnome from Romeo and Juliet. I want both of them cartoon character ass niggas gone.
But I do think that this to me is this is what my top scenario is for the New York Giants to turn this team around. Now, I know Cave been giving me a little pushback on the Deion thing, so I'm gonna let him go ahead and say his piece on that.
Pushback, man. You talking about the things I send you and stuff?
Yeah, I know you don't really want it, man.
No. I mean, I'm good with it. I'm good with it, but I'm just telling you, like, what what's in the media and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? If he comes, I'm fine with it, bro. But I think he's gonna come. If Shador gets drafted, Deion is not coming for at least a year. He's gonna stay in college for a year. He's coaching Colorado this season.
You think so?
Because he got that number one quarterback to flip from USC to him. And that kid ain't going to just flip, to play for Deion. You know what I'm saying? If Deion ain't going to be there.
I'm going to tell you this, man, Cave. Prime time money talks.
Of course.
If they tell Prime we give you $10 to $11, $12 million a year to go coach in the NFL, Prime time ain't going to turn that down.
You see, he left Jackson and went to Colorado.
Yeah,
for $5 million. For $5 million. So imagine the NFL tells him, "Hey, listen, let's do the scenario real quick before we get into the trivia because it's almost time to go." If they tell John Mara back the fuck up, like Onyx, and they say, "Listen, prime time is what New York needs." We're going to give Prime Time $12 million a year. You're going to shut the fuck up and cut the check. You're going to give Prime Time the GM that he wants, which is going to be Brandon Brown. And you're going to let these guys take over New York. Or you're going to lose this team because they can vote him out. There's a board there.
They can.
And Jerry Jones
with Snyder. They got Dan Snyder out of there.
So they could do it if they want to. It might take them about a couple of years, but they'll do it. But that's the scenario that will happen, and Primetime's not going to turn down $12 million a year. And he can go to the NFL to coach his son again, you know what I'm saying, and make sure that his son is taken care of. Because that's all he wants, to be honest with you. He just wants his sons to be taken care of.
Yeah.
He saw an opportunity to where his sons could be good in the NFL, and the only way that he saw it because his son was only a 2-star recruit. Shador was only a 2-star recruit, a 3-star recruit, and Shiloh wasn't even a star. You see what I'm saying? So he saw his way to where I could get my sons in the limelight and I can get them this money. You think Deion's going to turn that down in New York to where he can have his son on at the top of the New York Mecca and the top of the NFL if they win?
That's what
and
I'm
he's
saying,
in control
bro.
of that again. I don't think he turns that down at all. Not the coach at Colorado. Hey, listen, that dude don't give a damn about Colorado like that, bro. That man is about prime time. You see how many products that dude got just for being at Colorado?
Yeah.
Imagine the products he have now in New York. And not saying that he needs New York. No matter where he goes, he's going to have product. But imagine if he can do it in New York and his name is bigger than anybody that's been out there besides Michael Strahan. That's probably the only guy in New York that would be higher than him as far as pub.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. As a Giants fan, I'm not telling nobody, how to fan or what, what they should want, man. But I feel like the New York fan base and the Giants fan base should actually be caping for this. They should be
I don't
pushing
see how
this
they
narrative.
can be against it.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not pushing this narrative, guess what? What's the fallback? You keep Daboll around, or you take a chance on another hot shot coordinator. Because Vrabel's gonna have options too, and I'm not sure he wants to take New York. He looks like a Midwest kind of guy. You know what I mean? To me, or somebody that might be well in the NFC South or something like that. But not saying that I don't want him as a candidate, but New York should be pushing this narrative that I'm putting out there. And I'm gonna put the video out too, just to stamp my claim that I am pushing this narrative, because you need radical change, bro. You can't keep going along with the same shit. You know what I'm saying? And what scares people is that type of radical change, because it is radical, and Deion is going to change this shit. It's going to look very, very different. You know what I mean? And it's going to rub some people the wrong way, but that needs to happen. That needs to happen, because if not, you keep going along with the same old structure, and it's not working. It hasn't worked in years. You know what I mean? But go ahead, Matt, say your piece, man, and then we're going to get into trivia.
Well, if we have to get Deion to get Shador, I say go for it. Heck, bring the whole Colorado coaching staff, not just Deion. Also bring back Pat Shurmur. Bring in Sean Livingston. Or is it Robert Livingston?
I think it's Robert Livingston. Sean Livingston's the basketball player.
Yeah, I'm about to say
Robert Livingston. Bring in Gary Hart. Bring in Gary Harrell. Bring in the rest if you have to.
Yeah, Warren Sapp coming, T.O. coming. Ocho Cinco will be on the sidelines. Man, that's nothing but money, man. And if it's a money move, I think it's a winning move too, because eventually that dude's going to start winning.
And he's going to get players.
He has a reputation.
Players are going to want to come here now.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You're gonna get the high price free agents. You're gonna get the people that say, "Hey, trade me to the Giants. I want to go play with Deion and Shador." You're gonna get that. You're gonna get that. You know what I'm saying? With anybody else, it's a kind of wait and see. I think with any other coach, they're gonna have to prove by winning on the field first. I think Deion gives you instant credibility right off the rip. It's gonna be different than anything you've seen. You know what I mean? Coming into the league here with the Giants. But let's get into a little bit of New York Giants trivia. Got a little 5-pack of questions here for y'all. Let's get the theme song. All right. Now. Sure, I got that right. Y'all see the screen and everything?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into it. So we got Mets, Pat, Lou, Cave. Y'all know how this works. I go around. Get it right, you get points. You don't, you get nothing. All right. Last time the Giants had the first, I put this together fast, folks. So excuse me if I got any spelling mistakes or whatever. Last time the Giants had the first overall pick, they selected this player. Remember, the first overall pick in the draft, they selected this player. John Hicks, Tucker Fredrickson, Gary Jeter, Carl Banks. Mets first. Answer.
I'm going to say Banks.
Banks, D. Pat.
I'm gonna say Jeter.
Jeter. Lou.
B. No, you skipped Man Cave, but B. Tucker Frederickson.
B. Tucker Frederickson. Cave.
I agree with Lou. Tucker Frederickson.
Tucker Frederickson is the answer.
Oh, shit.
Man,
That's a good guess, man.
Yep, Man Cave and New York Giants selected Tucker Frederickson first overall in 1965, a running back out of Auburn. Leads to my next question. Since 1970, the merger, how many times have the New York Giants spent their first pick on a running back? A, 9, B, 11,
Damn.
B, 7,
Damn.
D, 10.
That's a whole lot because I only had 3.
Right.
Shit.
Wait.
We need to get back to our roots.
Your last question was the last time they picked first overall was 1965. So how did they have any of
their
these
first round pick? Their first pick.
This is their first overall pick.
Oh,
yeah.
And
Like their first round pick.
Yeah.
Not the number one pick, but their first round pick. It could have been 15,
you said first overall. You wrote overall, first overall, so that would assume the first pick.
And I clarified that by saying, "Don't get on me, pause, because I put this together."
Yeah,
Mr. Literal. Go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
All right. So how many first round picks did they spend on the running back since 1970?
Since 1970. Yep. There you go.
Ooh, shit. 11. B.
11. All right. Cave.
I'm gonna say 9. A.
9. Pat.
I gotta catch up, so I'm gonna say 7. C.
7. Mets.
I was gonna say 7.
I'm gonna say D. 10.
10. The answer is 9. 9 times the Giants. Lou said 9.
I said 9.
Oh.
No, I said 11. Man
You
Cave said
11.
9.
All
Yeah.
right, my bad. Cave got that.
See, I'm fair.
Yeah, 9 times. I'm not gonna go through the years, but it's a bunch, man. It's like Rodney Hampton, Tyrone Wheatley, Saquon. It's a bunch of them, bro. You'd be
That's
surprised.
why I thought it was 11.
Ron Dane, yeah.
Cedric Wilson.
Tiki, yup. Cedric Wilson. All right, these are
David
Saints.
Wilson.
David Wilson. Yep. These are Saints versus Giants questions, all-time leaders. Who is the Giants' all-time leader in receiving yards versus the Saints?
I'm gonna hit the buzzer. I hit the buzzer.
All right, Mr. Buzzer, even though there is no buzzer, I'm gonna let you go ahead and
OBJ.
OBJ, C. All right. Cave.
Yeah, I'm gonna say OBJ too.
OBJ. Pat.
It's Victor Cruz.
Victor Cruz. Mets.
I'm gonna side with Pat. D.
Victor Cruz is the answer.
Yep, Victor Cruz used to torture the Saints. OBJ did it one time.
Yeah. 369 yards in 3 games.
He used to kill the
Mr.
Saints,
Victor
bro.
Cruz.
I got that one, goddamn. I know my players now.
All right. Who has the most sacks, Pauls, for the Giants all-time versus the Saints?
Oh, shit.
OC, Strahan, LT, or Leonard Marshall? Let's start
You
with...
didn't even say Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, LT. I said LT. Lawrence Taylor, my bad. Literal.
Well,
all right, some answers. Yeah, go ahead, Pat.
It's OC.
OC. Mets.
Yep. I'll say OC as well.
Lou.
All time. Oh, man. I want to say Leonard Marshall. Leonard Marshall.
Leonard Marshall. Cave.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Strahan.
Straight, I can't believe none of y'all picked the obvious answer. See, I got y'all so confused. Y'all not picking the obvious ones now. It's actually Strahan. It's not. That's wrong. It's Michael Strahan. Michael Strahan had 5.5 games. 5.5
I thought it was
games.
OC that got those.
Who said Strahan? Cave?
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Damn, I thought it was OC who got those.
Nah. OC had damn, I had it up here.
It was like 4.
OC had 4 and 6 games. LT had 5 and 6 games. Strahan had 5.5 and 10 games. He played way more games. That's what it was.
Okay.
Leonard Marshall had
OC the one that played all them games versus the Saints. I knew it was somebody who played a lot because I know Lawrence Taylor didn't play a lot against the Saints. And I knew Leonard Marshall didn't play a lot against the Saints either. I thought it was OC. Okay.
All-time rushing leader for the New York Giants versus the Saints in this series. Doug Kotar, Joe Morris, Tiki Barber, Brandon Jacobs.
I know. I'm gonna go first again. I know it's between Joe Morris and Tiki Barber. I'm gonna go Joe Morris.
Joe Morris. All right.
I'll say
Tiki Barber.
Tiki Barber.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Tiki as well.
Y'all were close. No cigar. It is
Brandon
Mr.
Jacobs.
Kotar.
Kotar.
Kotar 278 and 4 games.
What year was this? 1948? The fuck?
Yeah, hey, he's on the list. I will show you guys so you don't think I'm lying.
Iman said who?
Here's the list for you. Kotar, Tiki Barber, Hampton, Joe Morris, and your man Tucker.
So Tiki was second. Was second.
Yeah, he was second. Just about what 15 yards?
Oh, he played 6 games against the Saints.
Okay. Yeah, he played 6 games versus the Saints. So but yeah. And that's it, man. Hey, with the dub. Mr. Man Cave.
You get a cookie.
No, yeah. I'm gonna have to make like a virtual a little
cookie.
Yeah. I'm gonna come up with that. That's gonna be the prize for trivia. It's gonna be a virtual cookie. That's a good idea, Lou. I like that.
Grimace from McDonald's eating the cookies.
Right. All right. Well,
but that's it, man, for Giants Convo for the day, man. We're gonna get ready to watch this massacre of a game. Real quick predictions, man. Pain. Pay.
Saints 30, Giants 7.
Saints 30, Giants 7.
You think we're gonna put up 7?
Yeah, I think we get a 7 on the first drive.
First drive is always the first drive, bro. Remember, always the first drive.
I think Drew Lock might be the only person to score. He might have to run it in.
What you think, Mets?
I'm gonna say 28-14 New Orleans.
28-14. Cave.
I said 30-7 Saints.
37. Pat.
I say 35-10 Saints.
35-10 Lou.
I'm gonna say 21-3 Saints.
I can see that happening too.
28-3 Saints. And it's gonna be more
prediction for the fight then. Prediction? Yes, prediction. Pain.
All right, y'all. We up out of here. Peace.
This has been a Big Blue Crew Sports Network production.